Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 3, the Kotor remake news and more. As always my dear Mandalorians, before we dive into it, please may I ask you to hit that big red subscribe button if you've not done so, and also be sure to give that bell a good old tickle to be alerted each and every time that I post a new video. But without much further ado and without any more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. So we're going to start with The Mandalorian. We have a big update which tells us the filming dates for the series, and we can then deduce from this information when it will be released. According to this official production slip, Season 3 begins filming on September 20th, which is only 10 days away, and wraps up filming on March the 23rd. Just for anyone wondering what this is, you can see at the top the Mandalorian title and season info, and Huckleberry Industries is the Lucasfilm codename for The Mandalorian more generally. So these dates give us a very clear idea of when the show could go into post-production and when we can expect it. Without a shadow of a doubt, I think The Mandalorian Season 3 is going to be the winter release of 2022, which is either in October or December of next year. So if The Mandalorian is going to be the last release of next year, the big question is, which of the Andor and Obi-Wan shows will come first? Both shows have already wrapped up and are in post-production, so following the Book of Boba Fett this December, which show are we going to get first in early 2022? It's looking like Andor will be first based on when it wrapped up and how long the show's been filming for, and it's looking increasingly likely that Obi-Wan Kenobi might even have a May 4th release date. This would be truly special, although this is just speculation. It's not too wild a guess though, based on this new info.
Hello there.
So as I say, The Mandalorian Season 3 is going to come out late next year, most likely in October or December, and Andor, Obi-Wan Kenobi and The Bad Batch Season 2 are all shows that are coming out before that at various points in the 2022 calendar year. So what do you guys make of this piece of news? Is it the good news that you hoped for, or did you expect a different release time frame? The description at the bottom of this is the same description for The Mandalorian that we've seen time and time again. After the stories of Jango and Boba Fett, another warrior emerges in the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. We follow the travails of a lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic. Now speaking of the First Order, a topic of major controversy in the Star Wars fandom is whether or not The Mandalorian is going to tie into the sequels. I'm going to give you the honest response that sometimes is not very popular. While I don't think The Mandalorian is directly going to overlap with the sequel story, eventually, as Jon Favreau admitted on Good Morning America, the setup for the sequel era is going to have to be explored, and that is unavoidable, and this includes the rise of the First Order, after the Imperial Remnant, and even the rise of Snoke. Having said that, it does seem like Lucasfilm are willing to add some more elements like Heir to the Empire and recanonize some of that trilogy, but I don't think they're going to avoid the sequels altogether. I think the big worry that some fans have is that Luke's character will once again face some sort of decline. Ultimately though, one of the Mandalorian spin-offs does need to show us how Luke went from the hopeful optimist in Return of the Jedi and The Mandalorian to the grumpy old man that we saw on Arc-2 Island. In other words, The Mandalorian eventually, but not right now, will make some elements of the sequel trilogy make a bit more sense. We'll get more context to them rather than avoiding them altogether or directly interacting with them. So now my dear Mandalorians, we're going to change the subject and talk about the massive news that broke last night. The Knights of the Old Republic remake is finally happening, and not only that, we got an epic teaser trailer revealing Revan himself. Now in spite of this excellent news, there's been a lot of debate online over the last few hours as to whether or not the new remake is going to be canon. Well, in the very long StarWars.com article talking about what to expect from this new remake, they gave a very ambiguous answer. To save you guys some time, I'll just highlight that part of it, and then we'll talk about the article more broadly. Lucasfilm say that the original Kotor is Legends, but they never reference the remake as non-canon. So as you would expect, this confused many fans who evidently want a clear answer. And the worry for many of us is if it does become canon, and what kind of changes that would entail. The main reason I say this is the legacy of the game is firmly rooted in it being Legends material and not canon. Now evidently there's going to be tons of people who don't really care, but many fans are waiting for a definitive response, which I'm sure we're going to get in due course. Now I saw a couple of people rightly point out that Star Wars under Disney is usually very quick to tell us when books and games are legends or not, but this time they didn't do it. As I said, they only refer to the original game as Legends but not the remake. If you're not familiar familiar with the original Kotor, then you'd assume reading this article that the new game is canon. It's just the way that Lucasfilm word things in the article, but we don't have a definitive answer. Now, legends or not, fans are completely psyched about this, myself included. It's something that we've wanted for years and years, and I will say that the game is for PlayStation 5 and PC, and they also hint in this article that it's going to release on PS5 first, before then making its way to PC. They say the classic RPG will return as a PlayStation 5 console exclusive at launch, and for PC. So there you go, my dear friends, the nostalgia for the good old days of early Star Wars gaming rushes back as we brace ourselves for this amazing remake. So let's now see what Lucasfilm's statement is about the game and the legacy of it and what this means. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it is very long-winded, just the relevant sections, but if you do want to read the full article for yourselves, head over to starwars.com and check it out. Kotor Reborn, Knights of the Old Republic. Today, Kotor stands as one of the most critically acclaimed Star Wars games ever, with the PC version amassing a current score of 93 on Metacritic, which is absolutely mind-blowing, guys. It just shows you the power that we as the fans have, and they finally listened to our many prayers to remake this game. So they say fans have long requested a remake to bring the title originally developed by BioWare and LucasArts up to modern standards. As it turns out, Lucasfilm has been listening. We know that Kotor is one of the most beloved Star Wars stories ever told. We really appreciate the stature it has with all of the fans out there. As hardware advances and as our game making prowess advances and as story techniques advance, what better time to allow players to re-experience this great story with all of those lessons learned and bring it back to modern platforms using modern methods. That's something I've wanted to do personally for a very long time, and I think everybody involved with Star Wars games has wanted to do for a very long time. So there you have it, guys. The Kotor remake is real and it's happening. I'm super excited about this. I can't wait for both that and LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. I'm going to be playing both on PS5. But what do you guys think, and what did you make of both topics that we talked about in today's video? Both the Mandalorian Season 3 release update and of course Kotor. If you guys enjoyed this one, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and a huge welcome if you are. And if you guys get any sort of value out of my channel whatsoever, please consider becoming a patron. Over on Patreon, you get exclusive access to content that's not found here on YouTube. You also get access to my Discord server, you help to support the channel, and so much more. I promise you would not regret it if you joined. But otherwise, my dear friends, I will see you in the next one. I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you all a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.